Hello and welcome to the Power BI December 2020 update. In this video, we'll explore what's new this month and see some demos of the highlights. But before we jump into the changes, we'd like to remind you that, as usual, there will be no January release next month. We wish you and your loved ones a safe and happy holiday season. And with that, let's take a look at this month's updates. We have some exciting new features for you in the reporting section. First, we're announcing that DirectQuery for Power BI Datasets and Azure Analysis Services is now in preview. We released composite models in November of 2018, which allowed you to add multiple DirectQuery sources and imported data to your models. Since then, we've heard your feedback that you would like to do this with sources you've previously live connected to, like Power BI Datasets and Azure Analysis Services sources. This new addition allows report authors who use DirectQuery to connect to Azure Analysis Services or Power BI Datasets as sources in combination with other DirectQuery and imported data. This is ideal for report authors who want to personalize or enrich the data from their enterprise semantic model with other data they may own. Jeroen will take us through a demo of this feature.
Okay, let's now take a quick look at DirectQuery for Power BI Datasets and Azure Analysis Services. This feature, as you know, enables you to connect to a Power BI dataset or an Azure Analysis Services model and extend it with other data sources, unlike you were previously able to do. So to get started, I'll go to Get Data here in Power BI Desktop. And I'll go to Power Platform, Power BI Dataset, and I am gonna find my AdventureWorks DW 2020 dataset that I published previously to the service. There we go. I'm gonna create this connection. So we're now connected live to this Power BI dataset, as you can see here in the bottom right. So far, no surprises. However, the Get Data functionality is still available to me, so I can go in here and I will try to add another data source. And before I can do that, Desktop tells me that in order for this to work, you will need to switch from a live connection to the Power BI dataset to a DirectQuery connection, which also includes creating a local model. So I'll go ahead and add a local model. So now Desktop will switch over from this live connection to a DirectQuery mode, and you'll see the change happening here, and also the status in the bottom right will update. And now I can go select my SQL Server source. Leave it in DirectQuery mode because I don't want to import data from this source. I want to show you that we can actually now connect to two DirectQuery sources, one being the Power BI dataset and another being the SQL Server database. And from this database, I'm just going to take two tables and load them. Again, we're still in DirectQuery mode. Power BI tells me there's a potential security risk because data being shared between two data sources if I relate them. That's fine. So we're now connecting these to these new tables. And if I now go back to the model view, and I'll switch to the new one, so you can see it a little bit better. We actually see two source groups. We have the ones with the black bar on top, which came from my Power BI dataset with all the relations and everything. And then we have the two unrelated tables with the blue bar on top from the DirectQuery connection to SQL Server. So this is all great. I can now already add one source to it, but the Get Data functionality is still available to me. So why not try and add something else? So let's add an Excel sheet. So this Excel sheet contains a target for my sales territories. And obviously, since this is Excel, I'm going to load this data into the model. So now in the model view, we'll see another table show up, different color again. This is the import source group, and I'm going to relate these two from the Excel to the Power BI dataset on the region. So this is great. I can build a relationship between these two sources, one being Excel and the other being the Power BI dataset. And now let's go do some quick data modeling here by just marking the target as a decimal number and a currency, because it really is a currency. Okay, so now let's go to report view and build a visual. I'm gonna take my sales territory, the region, and I'm gonna add the sales amount. Both of these come from my Power BI dataset. And now let's add the target from the Excel file to this and add it to the same visual. So as you can see now, I was able to create a visual with 3 columns from 2 different data sources, one from the imported Excel and the other from the Power BI dataset. So please try out the preview, give us some feedback, and we're looking forward to what you create.
Next, we're excited to announce the public preview of the Small Multiples feature. Small Multiples, or trellising, splits a visual into multiple versions of itself, presented side by side, with the data partitioned across these versions by a chosen dimension. Currently, you can create small multiples on your bar and column, line, and area charts, with more chart types and formatting options on the way. Rien will give us a demo.
Small multiples. We know this is something a lot of you have been asking for, so we're excited to be bringing it to you this month. Currently, you can make small multiples on your bar and column, line, and area charts. So let's get started with a column chart. We've got one right here, and we're looking at sales amount by category. So suppose we want to split this data up into a bunch of smaller charts by country. Well, what we'll do is we'll drag the country field into the small multiples field well in the fields pane, and the chart's going to split into a 2x2 grid where the data has been divided along, that chosen dimension. Here it's country. So there are a few things to note here. First, you'll see that the grid is sorted by the natural sort order of the field, which here is alphabetical, from left to right, then top to bottom. And we can scroll to see the rest of the multiples. We plan to introduce easier ways for you to sort those multiples, but for now, you can change the sort order in the data model if you so choose. You can also see that the axes are synchronized, with one y-axis at the left of each row and one x-axis at the bottom of each column. And of course, all of the normal data interaction you'd expect will still work, right? So we can still select data points, and you'll see that it cross-filters, cross-highlights other visuals. We can select axis values just as normal. So this only works for categorical axes, which is just how the product works. And we can even select the small multiples titles. So if we selected France, we'll cross-filter by France. And as you can see, for all of these different levels of granularity of selection, other visuals will be cross-highlighted and cross-filtered to support that. So that's the data interaction part. Let's talk about formatting. In the formatting pane, you'll find some new options to allow you to control the look and feel of the grid. So first, let's talk about the small multiples title card. Here, you'll see a few different options. You can change the style. You can change, the font family, size, position of the small multiples title, as well as, where it is. So we've got alignment here. We can put it on the bottom. We can put it back on top and center it. We can do all sorts. And then, of course, we can also change the dimensions of the grid. So here I have a 2x2 by default, but you can adjust this number up until 6x6 in terms of rows and columns. So I can go up to 6 rows or 6 columns. And as you can see, if I decide I want a 6x6 grid, it'll give me a 6x6 grid regardless of whether or not there are enough small multiples to fill it in. So here I have 6 things, so I'm just going to go with 2 rows and 3 columns. There, it looks pretty nice now. So again, any multiples that don't fit, as we saw with the 2x2, those are going to just load in as you scroll down. So these are the major formatting features that we've introduced so far. but we've got a lot more planned for the future. Grid lines, padding controls, more chart types. If you want to learn more about these current limitations, and as well as what's coming for small multiples between now and GA, or if you play around with it, and you have some ideas for how we can improve on it, please feel free to check out the blog post in the video description below, because there's a lot more information there. There's also a link to a survey for you to fill out your impressions. All of the questions on the survey are optional, and there's room for you to leave any miscellaneous thoughts you have. So if you have any sort of feedback, please don't hesitate. Let us know. And that's what we have for now. So we really hope you enjoy the feature. Hopefully what we have so far, it proves to be useful to you. At least it stops you from having to make, 6, 10, 20 different charts that all show the same thing and format them all one by one. And hope you enjoy. Thank you so much.
Next, we're bringing data protection sensitivity labels to Power BI Desktop, allowing creators to apply Microsoft Information Protection sensitivity labels the minute they start building their datasets and reports in Power BI Desktop. Now, by using sensitivity labels, PBIX files can easily be classified and protected the same way as we do with Excel, Word, and PowerPoint files. When a PBIX file is published to the service, both dataset and report inherit its sensitivity label. This ensures that your data will remain labeled both when published on the service and downloaded as a PBIX file. Danny will show us a demo.
Today we introduce the addition of data protection to Power BI Desktop to allow setting sensitivity labels on PBIX files. Sensitivity label can be easily applied from the ribbon bar, same as it is being done in Office client applications. Once label was selected, the status bar at the bottom of the window will show the file is now set with a classification or protection label. The real powerful thing is that once PBIX is published to Power BI service, the new dataset and report created are automatically applied with the same label.
As we near general availability for the Data Point Rectangle Select feature, we've also raised the limit of data points you can select at once to 3,500 points, which should allow you to select all of the visible points on most of the visuals you see. Thank you for your feedback, and we hope this dramatically improves your experience while using this feature. Starting this release, you can now open the selection pane while in the mobile layout view, allowing you to see and change the layering order of visuals on the page. This makes it easier to work with visuals that overlap or lie on top of others, and adjust the layering of visuals specifically for the mobile view. In the selection pane, you can also see the visibility state of each visual in the mobile layout view, but keep in mind that this property is inherited from the web layout and can't be separately changed. Next, we've updated automatic page refresh to support Azure Analysis Services and SQL Server Analysis Services. Automatic page refresh allows you to set the refresh interval of visuals in your report. To enable automatic page refresh for these new sources, the process is the same as with DirectQuery. Connect to a supported source, head to the Page Format pane and toggle on the Page Refresh property, and then select your refresh type as Auto Page Refresh. The minimum refresh interval for these data sources is 30 minutes. Keep in mind that currently only analysis services sources are supported. Proxy models are not supported. Your premium admin can disable automatic page refresh, preventing you from turning it on. And if you set APR in desktop and upload it, you still need to enter credentials in the service. And lastly, that change detection is not supported for these sources. Next, in the data preparation section, you would have noticed we released a ton of new Power Query and Dataflows features over the last few weeks, including enhancements to data transformations and the query editor, new and enhanced connectors, updates to Dataflows management, compute and APIs, and new documentation and best practices. For more information about all of this new functionality, check out the link in the video description below. In the data connectivity section, we're happy to announce some new and updated connectors. First is the general availability of the new Microsoft Dataverse in Power BI Connector. With this connector, Power BI users have more options when connecting to Dataverse environments, including Dataverse for Teams. This connector uses the tabular data stream endpoint for the Dataverse environment, supports DirectQuery, and flattens complex data types for easy consumption in the data model. You can find the Dataverse connector in the Power Platform section of the Get Data dialog. The Azure Time Series Insights connector has added support for Azure B2B and guest accounts. The SurveyMonkey connector now supports customers in their EU data center and fixed various bugs. Lastly, the Cognite connector is now generally available. It adds support for AAD authentication, as well as performance improvements for time series aggregation. We have a variety of updates for you in the service section. First, we're thrilled to announce the general availability of Power BI Search in Microsoft Search in Bing and Office. This will introduce Power BI Search content to Bing.com, Windows Search Box, and Microsoft Office sites like Office.com and SharePoint.com, allowing you to reach Power BI from everywhere in your organization and across different products. We're also introducing a list view on the homepage, combining previous widgets like Recent, Shared with Me, and My Apps to help simplify the experience. This view surfaces metadata to provide an at-a-glance view of artifacts, report locations, endorsement levels, app descriptions, and sensitivity labels. Further, we're adding an option to the admin portal to allow admins to define a custom message that appears before a user publishes a report from the Power BI desktop. You can find this new option in the service by navigating to Settings, Admin Portal, Tenant Settings, Help and Support Settings, and selecting Show a Custom Message before publishing reports. This message can be up to 5,000 characters long. We've also added new export settings to the Power BI admin portal. Export to CSV, download report, allow live connections, export reports as HTML documents, export reports as Word documents, and export reports as XML documents. These new settings provide more granular control over export options in Power BI and extend report settings to control exports from paginated reports. Next, the public preview of Power BI Premium per user has rolled out to all tenants worldwide. Now Power BI users have access to Power BI Premium capabilities on a per user basis for the entire public preview period for free. And coming soon, we're bringing you a new way to quickly create reports in the service. Rather than downloading Power BI Desktop and importing data, you'll be able to paste data straight into Power BI on the web and have visuals automatically generated for you. Keep an eye out for more information on this exciting new feature. We have a couple of updates for you in the mobile section. First, we've added a dark theme to the Power BI Android app. If your Android device already operates in dark mode, the Power BI app will automatically inherit your choice from your device settings. Otherwise, you can go into the Appearance section of the App Settings page and choose from Dark, Light, and System Default. Please keep in mind that while all screens and dialogues will be presented in a dark theme, the Power BI content like reports and dashboards will not change. Those will keep the colors and themes set by the report author. Anomaly detection is now supported on all mobile apps. If the report author has set up anomaly detection for a visual, you'll be able to identify outliers and view insights all inside your mobile apps. You'll be able to open the Insights pane from the Data Point or the Visuals Options menu, where you'll see a natural language explanation of the anomaly and factors associated with the anomaly, sorted by explanatory strength. Next, we have a number of updates for you in the Embedded section. First, all of the improvements for the Power BI new look, like navigation updates, will also be available for Power BI embedded analytics scenarios. For more information, check out the blog post link in the video description below. Further, we're introducing a variety of capabilities to embedding for your organization. The Report Consumer Action Bar has been updated to the new look, making it simpler and better organized. Embedded analytics now support personal bookmarks supported only when embedding for your organization. Persistent filters allow your users to retain filters, slices, and other data view changes that they make. Next, Personalize Visuals is now fully supported on embedded scenarios. The Personalize Visuals feature empowers your end users to explore and customize visuals, all within the consumption view of a report. When you turn on Personalize Visuals for a report, the option to personalize a visual will also be available when consuming embedded analytics. When embedding for your organization, users will also be able to save their modified view as a personal bookmark. In other cases, you can use the Bookmarks API to save the modified view. Embedded Q&A is now aligned to the new Q&A visual. When embedding Q&A to your web application, you will now see an input box which allows you to type your questions, and you'll also see a few suggestions to help get you started. Clicking on any of the suggestions will automatically populate the input box and then show you the result. We've also introduced some API updates. To the Export Report to File API, we've added the option to export an existing report bookmark, with the ability to export a single visual coming soon. And we're now supporting the Takeover API for paginated report data sources. And keep an eye out for more embedded features coming soon. Last month, we announced the preview availability of improved analytics with Next Generation Power BI Premium. This next generation platform will come to Power BI Embedded as well. When available, the new platform will improve chargeback support for ISVs and will introduce entry points for premium features like paginated reports and others, so stay tuned. In the visualization section, we have some useful new visuals available for you on AppSource. New this month are the Adaptive Cards visual by Paradigm BI, the France Map Drill Down visual by DataKai, the Dumbbell Bar Chart and Dumbbell Column Chart by Nova Silver BV, the Strip Plot Chart by Nova Silver BV, Add Intelligent Narratives for BI by Aria NLG, and the Overlapping Bar Chart by Acorn Hill. More information on all of these new visuals can be found on our blog and in their respective links in the video description below. This month's editors' picks are the XBAR Control Chart by PQ Systems, the Image Visual by CloudScope, the Drill Down Network Pro Visual by Zoom Charts, the Hierarchical Bar Chart by excelandaccess.com, and the Lollipop Bar Chart by Nova Silver BV. You can find these editors' picks and all of the other mentioned visuals on AppSource. We have a few new template apps for you in the Template Apps section. Template apps allow you to save time by connecting your own data to a pre-built report that you can personalize and share. First is the Test Your Analytics Maturity app created by Avanade, which helps you evaluate your organization's analytics maturity. You can use this report to gauge on several core dimensions. You can share this tool with your colleagues and learn more about your analytics maturity level. Next is the Apps on AppSource Exploration Tool app by DataChant, a template app designed to help you find the right app for your organization's needs. From the main view of the app, you can search and filter for apps by products, publishers, or app name. In the table view, you can highlight a specific app to read its description, or click on the app image or title to navigate to the app on AppSource. You can also find links to relevant app resources. And finally, the Power BI Gold collection of apps are a set of ready-made reports that give you a head start implementing Power BI for a Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central system designed and developed by Fenwick Software. The included datasets plug directly into Dynamics 365 Business Central, allowing you to easily extract data and build custom reports based on that data. These curated datasets cover sales, finance, purchasing, and inventory to give you a strong reporting foundation. If you're interested in trying out any of these template apps, please check out the links in the video description below. In the developer section, we're bringing new admin APIs and service principal authentication, allowing for improved tenant metadata scanning. Power BI enables organizations to adopt a data-driven culture where every person can get the most value out of their data. But with a massive amount of self-service data generated in Power BI, new challenges emerge, like allowing self-service but still governing data efficiently, helping users find the right data to use, and reducing data duplication. With this release, we're making it easier for you to get the information you need and address and overcome these challenges. We've added service principal authentication for read-only scanner admin APIs, meaning you no longer have to maintain a service account within an admin role. Now, to allow your app to use admin APIs, you provide your approval once as part of the tenant settings configuration. We've released asynchronous unified scanning APIs so that you can get a full scan of Power BI assets, data source metadata, and lineage in an efficient and reliable way, drastically reducing the failure rate and amount of time it takes for a full scan of large tenants. We now support incremental scan, giving customers the flexibility to scan only the workspaces that have changed since the last time they were scanned. The API now returns endorsement information, better supporting the discovery of high-quality data. And the new APIs also return sensitivity label ID for each labeled artifact, allowing you to see how well your data is protected. Lastly, in the developer section, with the new 3.5 API release, developers will be able to add conditional formatting functionality to Power BI visuals. Conditional formatting allows report creators to set formatting properties which change based on field values, giving users visual cues about the data they see. As always, we highly recommend that you update your visuals to the latest API release to enjoy the new functionality and improvements. And we invite you to join us at community.powerbi.com for the latest on upcoming Power BI events and opportunities for you to jump in and become someone's Power BI hero simply by helping answer community members' questions. And also don't forget to check out my favorite, seeing the awesome work of our community members posted in the Data Stories gallery. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and register with a Power BI community, as we'd love to see your cool report and ways you're using the newly released features. Who knows, you might just win some cool swag and highlight your work at the same time. And that's all for this month. We hope you enjoy the updates, and please keep sending us feedback on what you'd like to see in upcoming releases. Thank you so much for watching. Have a safe and happy holiday season. And here's to another wonderful year with Power BI.